Russia got a message from Elon Musk. NATO will destroy Russia. Russia just got a very important message from one of the most important tech entrepreneurs in the world, Elon Musk, who warns Russia that if NATO continues to expand and Russia does not act to stop it, then NATO will eventually be able to utterly destroy Russia and its military forces, including their nuclear capabilities. Musk's warning should serve as a wake-up call to Russia, but it also should scare NATO into realizing that its actions are pushing Russia into a corner where it has no choice but to fight back or face total destruction. Want to know more about it? Well then, stay tuned in the video. Welcome to Elon Musk Newest. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon to never miss an update on the new things we bring for you regarding the tech magnate Elon Musk and his wild endeavors. That being said, let's begin. Today we are here with another interesting topic on Elon Musk. Let's get into the video. Russia could be doomed by an upcoming NATO meeting, according to Elon Musk. The tech billionaire tweeted that the military alliance was obsolete and that it would not exist for long in its current form if its members continue to expand eastward. Coming to more details, it's no secret that Elon Musk is a big fan of US military strength and its position as a world leader. He's now also a huge opponent of both Russian influences in Ukraine and NATO expansionism. To Musk, Russian activity on behalf of pro-Russian separatists in Ukraine is a global issue, and it's one that he thinks must be addressed by force if necessary. As such, he says, NATO must expand eastward to meet the threat from Russia. The message from Musk comes from a tweet made by Norway-based military journalist Kjell Grandhagen, who asked for Musk's thoughts on NATO expansionism following his recent trip to Moscow, where he met with the government officials about Tesla sales in Russia. The strong words from Musk came in response to comments by German Chancellor Angela Merkel earlier when she told reporters that NATO would not allow itself to be divided or have separate spheres of influence. This has been taken by many as yet another shot across Russia's bow. Musk appears to think differently. When Kjell Grandhagen asked for Musk's take on NATO/Russia relations, here was his reply. Elon Musk says NATO needs to formally extend an alliance invitation to Russia and de facto re-accept Russia back into the group. Elon Musk said that NATO will destroy Russia right before he quit Trump's advisory board. Musk said that when it comes to what's going on in Russia today, he doesn't care who is right or wrong. Musk finds it strange that everyone is bickering and arguing over who started it and why it's happening. Musk thinks people should just stop fighting and let Mother Nature take its course. As we don't have enough problems, now Elon Musk says NATO will destroy Russia. This coming meeting between the US and Vladimir Putin isn't off to a great start after Elon Musk announced that NATO is only days away from starting World War III with Russia. Elon Musk has never been known for shying away from controversy, especially not recently, as his comments about Tesla earnings have caused quite a stir. Elon Musk's latest tweet is another example of him calling out President Trump, which seems to be becoming more commonplace as tensions rise with Russia, and Trump continues his criticism of NATO whilst cozying up to Putin. How will NATO destroy Russia? Putin will do nothing about it. NATO is playing war games with US armed forces. Russian people will be blind and they will die in pain soon. Russia should leave NATO. If Russia doesn't leave NATO and missiles are deployed, there will be no use for nuclear weapons because NATO will destroy Russia regardless of having nukes or not. NATO will deploy AWACS, Airborne Warning and Control System, surveillance aircraft to monitor Russia's moves in Poland and Romania. NATO has been using AWACS to spy on Russia since 2004, when Estonia joined NATO. NATO has several kinds of attack jets, fighters and bombers that could easily reach Moscow and conduct an aerial blitz. NATO could launch cruise missiles at Russian military bases all over Western Russia. This scenario would happen after NATO loses patience, waiting for things to settle down inside Ukraine, because if Crimea becomes part of NATO territory, then NATO will continue pushing it into eastern Ukraine, causing Russia intervention there eventually. As such, NATO launches its preemptive strikes against Russian military command and control centers and invades western Russia by air and sea. NATO ground forces have invaded from Kaliningrad in northern Europe to Kursk in central Europe to Vladivostok in eastern Siberia, along with air attacks against inland targets. NATO could win, but only by destroying every last bit of infrastructure within its own occupied territory, plus whatever was left behind by fleeing civilians. In other words, NATO wins, but at what cost? How will NATO destroy Russia and NATO intelligence exposed? What has happened so far? Russian Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu stated that NATO was massively increasing its military presence in Eastern Europe and has been deploying arms and military equipment near Russian borders. The US-based security think tank Bulletin of Atomic Scientists also noted that while most East European states remain firmly integrated into Euro-Atlantic structures, they have become increasingly concerned about an aggressive Russia. In turn, NATO members have been wary of Moscow's actions following its 2014 annexation of Crimea from Ukraine. These developments have escalated tensions between NATO and Russia. At a press conference with French President Emmanuel Macron, Putin alleged that a NATO legion composed of more than 9,000 troops had appeared near his country's border, causing concern over potential interference by outside forces during elections. NATO responded by calling these allegations nonsense. Now comes a warning from Elon Musk, who commented on Twitter, "Just received this letter from the head of NATO. This is not good." The Kremlin has received clear signals from Elon Musk that NATO's plans to deploy an advanced anti-missile system in Europe pose a direct threat to Russia. Russian President Vladimir Putin shares this info. During his annual Q&A session, Putin expressed concerns over NATO's ongoing push for deploying new military hardware in Eastern Europe. Elon Musk may seem like an unlikely source for information regarding world affairs, but that hasn't stopped him from commenting on Russian-NATO relations. Elon Musk opened up and explained why he made such an unusual statement regarding Russian relations, and what needs to happen next in order to prevent nuclear war. Elon Musk had some very poignant words regarding North Korea recently, where he stated how North Korea is currently acting like two countries at once. One half wants peace, while the other half wants war. What could happen? If NATO was to go ahead with its plan, we're looking at an international conflict, even more severe than those we saw in Iraq and Syria, Russia and Ukraine in recent years. The US and Europe have made it clear that they see Russia as their biggest threat going forward. And nothing says we mean business like waging a war against them. Let's hope cooler heads prevail, because if not, it looks like there might be hell to pay. Also, Elon Musk has offered up some pretty ominous warnings about what's coming next for Russia, saying on Twitter that it will happen faster than anyone imagines. According to one of his statements, World War III is closer than we all think it is. Be careful with AI. My verdict. Elon Musk wants to warn Russians about something very important. The recent escalation of tensions between Russia and Ukraine has made him worry, and he decided to speak up and tell Russians that they need to step up their military readiness as soon as possible, because in his opinion, NATO is not far away from taking over. At least that's what he said when speaking to Bloomberg in an interview. Whose side do you take? Do you think Elon Musk is right or wrong? Remember that there are no right or wrong answers here. It all depends on your opinions. You can give them in your comments below. Also, if you like our topic ideas and find them helpful, share them with your friends. Thumbs up and thumbs down based on your interest, and don't forget to subscribe to Elon Musk Knows for more interesting videos. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.